Here we go, folks. Welcome back. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Welcome to Slamtown, folks. Another review for Lucha Underground. Joining me tonight, back on the show, Mr. Chris Phoenix. Dude, how the hell are you doing? Haven't talked to you in a couple weeks.
Dude, I was incapacitated with a fucking migraine upside my head. I was like, ow, no, crawling on the floor. I had to force myself to eat a pancake before I could take the Excedrin. I'm like, ow. I had a nap full of nightmares. It was crazy. And I was like, oh my God. And then I woke up and had lunch at Burger King. And I was like, hey, I'm sorry.
See, this is why I love on the show, man, because you never know what the hell you're going to get with Chris.
That's how I roll, baby. That's how I roll.
I need to work on a Dario Cueto imitation.
You know what? I've been working on that off and on, just while I'm watching it. He's got a pretty thick accent, so it's kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's corny yet authentic.
Indeed.
Like last week, hey, let's stop this havoc and stop this madness. Come on, that was funny. I love it, man. Dude, he is seriously still in 3 seasons one of the best characters in the professional wrestling world, even though this is a TV show with wrestling on it, you know?
Yes. Yeah. He's, in my opinion, someday he will go down in history as one of the greatest top heel managers of all time, right up there with Paulie and Bobby the Brain Heenan and Jim Cornette. Right up there. Dario freaking Cueto.
He's great, you know, and this is just purely speculation off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bad feeling that the end of this season, because we're coming up on something massive here. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we may see the demise of one Dario Cueto, if not his brother as well.
If that happens, it will be the saddest day in Lucha Pro Wrestling history. You know, one of the greatest characters of all time.
Yeah.
You know, a legend in the making, snuffed out too soon. Forget that.
Yeah. I just have this feeling when something epic is going to happen, whether it be positive or negative. And I just got a feeling, man. So, all right, man, we are on episode 34, season 3. But overall, this is, and I haven't been keeping track, but apparently this is episode 99.
I did not know that until it was brought to my attention either.
And next week is the 100th episode of Lucha Underground. Dude, how cool is that?
Who are you going to call when it comes down to the wire? Man, put it this way. There are shows that have done less with more and still not gotten to 100 episodes.
Yeah.
This is a freaking television show about wrestling that is not WWE or WCW or TNA produced, and it's gotten to 100 episodes inside of 3 years.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. It's just, I mean, how many shows are get promoted up the yin yang and don't even make it past the pilot?
Exactly. You got to get all the hype, you get all the glory, and it was like, wow. Oh, it's over? Oh, I missed it. Maybe I'll catch season 1 on Netflix.
I mean, the positive thing is Robert Rodriguez. I mean, this is his baby. This entire network that Lucha Underground on, the El Rey network, that's his baby. And it's backed by MGM. So as long as they're excited about it, this is going to last till God knows when. You know?
Those of you out there on social media, tweet the hell out of this podcast. Tweet the hell out of Lucha El Rey. Tell the world you love Lucha. And the world and the marketers and the suits will listen and keep giving us awesome shows.
Yeah, because this season is quickly coming to an end, and
Yeah.
those of us who love this show do not want to see it go away for another long hiatus. You know,
Yeah.
we got to get this thing going. So, all right. So this episode called Career Opportunities. What a loaded, crazy, fun episode, dude. Um,
Yep.
we get a lot of announcements for next week,
Mm-hmm.
but we also had some crazy, fun stuff happen during this episode. Let's talk about. Let's see. What do we talk about first? Let's kind of go backwards. What the hell? Why not?
Sure.
Um, so the match gets announced that we're next week we're getting an Atomicos match,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's an interesting title for a match. It's Team Mundo versus
Mm-hmm.
Team Puma.
It's basically select members of the union, Worldwide Underground versus Puma and whoever the hell he can get together, whoever he hasn't burned, if you will.
Yeah, that's very true. So we've got obviously Johnny Mundo, Taya, PJ Black, and Ricky. I almost said Ricky Martin.
He wishes. No.
Hey, maybe he'll be live next week on the Lucha Underground show. You know, he'll be like up on the stage and doing
Uh-huh.
living the living La Vida
Loca.
Underground tour.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, just kill me now.
Just no.
Sorry, no. Ricky Mandel, Mister Johnny Mundo Light, if you will.
Johnny Wannabe.
Johnny Wannabe. I like that. So Prince Puma is given the opportunity to take a mic and announce his team for the Atomicos match, only to be interrupted by Johnny Mundo himself. And Mundo's like, "Well, I'm putting my title on the line for the the grand finale, Ultima Lucha Trace. Why don't you put something up like your mask?" Dario says, "No, no, no. We already got a mask versus mask or whatever, you know." Mask versus hair. That's the Phoenix versus
Marty?
Marty. Thank you.
Yep.
Versus, I almost said versus creepy bastard. No, that's not it.
Same thing.
Same thing. And Dario says, "No, because we already have that. How about we do title versus career?"
Now, if there's anybody out there who knows a little bit about wrestling, who's a little underground beyond the underground, if you will know for sure that, who Puma is under that mask and his accomplishments in his career outside of Lucha Underground, and will know exactly what he's putting on the line is basically next to nothing in this promotion. You know, you could have him. He's only wrestled for 3 seasons in this promotion. He's wrestled for over a decade everywhere else in the world.
Well, yeah.
So it's really not that much of a gamble if you think about it. But for the sake of argument, for the sake of the storyline, this kid's a first-timer. He's an up-and-comer from Boyle Heights. He's the hometown hero, and he's going to put everything on the line in his first 3 years of his career against this bona fide superstar who's been all over the world and done everything and is finally the Lucha Underground champion.
Could his light even be snuffed out before it's lit?
And that's the angle they're pulling here. But those who know. Those who don't, better recognize.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing. There's a lot of people out there that don't know, because there's, like I said last week, there's people out there tweeting out how, "Oh, we thought Sexy Star was blackballed because of the AAA thing. What is she doing on Lucha Underground?" It's like, dude.
Man, you are so behind the times.
Come on. You're killing me.
There's plenty of dirt sheets out there, you smark. Go ahead and look it up.
It's like, oh, this was recorded 14 months ago, folks. Come on, try to keep up a little bit. Um, but yeah, it's just funny. It's like, yeah, we haven't seen Prince Puma anywhere else. Maybe this is it for the young lad. So
Oh.
okay, so joking aside,
Hmm.
it's going to be a tremendous match. But next week, so we know who Team Mundo is.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, obviously.
who do you think? And I was racking my brain a little bit before we went live. Who do
Hmm.
you think is going to be on Team Puma?
If it's anybody, I would say my first obvious choices would be his
Sing us a song there.
my first choice, if you will. No. Actually, I was thinking his former trios tag team partners, Ray and Dragon Azteca Jr., and possibly um, somebody else who's like really not anywhere as of yet. But it would have to be somebody who's not technically on the card as of yet, because right now Phoenix is on the card. If I remember correctly, Dragon Azteca Jr. is also on the card. The closest thing that I would think is maybe uh, um,
Well,
Aerostar,
that could be,
maybe Arhenis.
but Dragon Azteca Jr. is in a match with Pentagon Dark for the last ancient Aztec medallion next week.
Exactly. That's why having him as part of the Atomicos match, it wouldn't make sense.
Right.
So he's out. But if correct me if I'm wrong, next week Ray is taking on Matanza, right?
Ray's
Or is
taking
that
on.
or is that it or is that Ultima Lucha? No, wait.
No, that's next week for
Ah,
the 100th
yes.
episode.
Okay, so his former tag team partners are out.
Basically, yeah. I would say Sexy Star because she's got the rivalry with Taya coming up. That's like still like underlying, you know.
Uh-huh. And bearing on last night's matches, I would also say the Mac,
Yeah,
because Mac often rolls with Star, and having them on the same team is always a good thing. By the way, just to interrupt, I am watching the debut of Taya Valkyrie on Impact.
oh,
She's coming in with a crown and a freaking robe with badass shoulder pads, looking like a blonde version of the evil queen from Snow White.
dude,
So
that
badass.
that is incredible. I cannot wait to watch that. Dude, I have really barring all the negative stuff, and I'm not gonna get into it because people
Yeah,
eat that stuff up and
of course.
poop it out on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited for what I've been seeing on Global Force Wrestling with all the new additions from AAA. Taya, Mundo, Drago, Phantasma,
Mm-hmm.
Pagano's coming,
Yeah.
and more that I'm not going to talk about, but I know
Yeah.
about it.
Well, I will say this about that. Taya is looking splendid this evening. And furthermore, yes, I only these days I don't even watch WWE. I record it and I don't even watch the damn thing. So I'll get back to it later. And I watch the recap online. I'm like, do I really want to watch this? No, not really. They
No.
basically went over the bullet points already. But meanwhile, I am still watching Lucha every single freaking Wednesday,
Yeah.
and I am watching Impact every freaking Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I mean, there's whatever's going on in the tapings that happens that's going to go on through November and Bound for Glory. I'm excited about, you
Mm-hmm.
know, how long this little invasion is going to happen. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, but I'm digging it. I'm just going week by week and I'm digging it.
Yeah, and by the way, the lighting is much better in the Impact Zone. Taya looks very good in the Impact Zone. Much less dirty and greasy. More like a gymnast.
Yeah, you know what? That's funny because and we'll get back to the review. Just bear with us, folks.
Little sidetrack there. Sorry about that.
I know, yeah, He said, hey, dee.
Ty is giving me the feels. I'm sorry.
I was on the Rambling About Wrestling podcast, and we've got a new member on there.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Jack. So I asked him, I was like, hey, do you watch Lucha Underground?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, I can't stomach it. The lighting's weird. I don't like that orange, whatever. It's no.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude. No, and I get that Lucha Underground is not everyone's cup of tea.
No.
But that is a first that I've heard someone say, oh, no, you know, the lighting, the orange, no, it's like rust. It's like ew. It's like,
You know what? They said the same thing about SmackDown. They said the colors of white and silver and blue are designed to put people to sleep because they're calming colors. That's why everybody watches Raw. Nobody watches SmackDown because Raw has black and red and it's more aggressive. You watch SmackDown, it's like blue and white. It's more calming.
is that why I was
This is why people don't watch SmackDown.
Is that why I was always so aggressive and pissed off when I walked into work when I used to work at Target?
Probably. You see red like a bull.
I just figured it out, folks.
Hey, I work at a place where our colors are green. Okay, I'm still not feeling envious, and I'm still not feeling monetarily compensated, so to speak. Like I don't feel super rich or whatever, but each color has its own spectrum. It's like the Green Lantern, I guess. It gives me the willpower to hang on, if you will.
I hear it's not easy being green.
It's not easy being green.
Thank you, Kermie. All right, back to the show. All right, so Team where were we? Oh yeah, Team Pundo.
Team Puma.
Team Puma. What did I say?
Yeah, who do you think is going to be on there?
I think Sexy Star is definitely one of them. After that, it's kind of, I don't know, kind of up for grabs. Maybe some people we haven't seen in a while. I think possibly throwing Vampiro in the match as a last minute surprise thing would be kind of cool.
As a surprise entrant, maybe he does something at least once a season, so it could be. But I think if they were going to do anything with him, it'll be saved to Ultima Lucha.
Yeah, could be, or at least in another backstage segment because we haven't seen anything in a while.
True, but you saw him standing up and saying no when Dario was saying to put his career on the line.
Yeah. I mean that was a bit of more of a reveal as far as how do you say alliances?
Yes.
Yeah. So and we also saw that the last time Puma was in the ring as well. So yeah, it's a Sexy Star definitely. After that, kind of up in the air. I'd like to see Vampiro, but yeah, we might have to wait till Ultima Lucha Trace to see that. We'll see. Let's see. Dario announcing lots of stuff. We've also got for the last ancient Aztec medallion. Next week we'll find out who gets it between Dragon Azteca Jr. versus Pentagon Dark. I cannot wait to see that. Okay, we talked about the Atomicals match. We also are getting, which we already knew about, but the official announcement of Matanza versus Rey Mysterio. Can't wait for that. And then Dario also brings down Rey Mysterio, and he tries to send him home.
Yep. He's like, you go home. Otherwise, Dragon Azteca, he's fired.
And Matt Striker's like, but he is home.
This is his temple, man. This is his home. It's like, yeah, I understand that, Striker, but he lives a little bit south of here in San Diego. Boyle Heights is a little bit far north. Whatever. Forget about it.
From what I've heard, Boyle Heights is not that great of a hood.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say you need to talk to what's his face, Felipe Esparza, great comedian.
Oh,
He'll give you the grand tour of Boyle Heights, right till you get to the border of East LA. Then he'll abandon your ass.
nah, you're on your own.
To East LA, vato. Oh shit, I'm out of here, man.
Dario tries sending him home, and he's like, "If you don't leave, I'm gonna fire Dragon Azteca Jr." And Ray's like, "All right, I'll go home, but next week, after I finish off Matanza, I'm coming after you."
Right.
It almost had that old a bit of attitude era feel to it, didn't it? Just a little.
A little bit, just a tiny bit.
A little bit. It kind of felt like a hero versus boss, almost like a Stone Cold versus McMahon. Just but Lucha Underground version.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk about the matches.
Mm-hmm.
We've got match number 1, and this was also for one of the ancient Aztec medallions.
Ah.
We get Drago with Cobra Moon versus the Mac. Very fun match. Unfortunately, not without shenanigans, as we've seen many a time with Cobra Moon and the Dragon Tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Drago getting that one, and this was. It just shows. I mean, I've enjoyed watching Drago on Impact off and on.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice to see him again on here as well. But also seeing how diverse of an in-ring performer the Mac is. To see him against a much smaller, quicker guy like Drago,
Mm-hmm.
it just
When
is mind-blowing at times.
when he tends to pour on the speed, when he does he ups his agility, it's also always very impressive.
It is. It is. And I've said this many a time. I'll say it many more times. I like to think of the Mac as like the Lucha Underground version of like Kevin Owens.
Pretty much, yeah.
Big guy, lot of athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
So so Drago gets the win. And but
Not without some collusion.
no. Cobra Moon distracts the Mac, and Drago wraps him up in a pin. Good match though. Good back and forth match. A lot of fun. What did you think before we get to the more the the fight at the end here? What did you think of the Max twerking? Was that a little disturbing?
A little disturbing. I'm not the kind of guy who likes to see another man shake his ass like that, but to each his own,
we saw a lot of ass related things in this episode. We'll get to some more in a little bit.
A lot of ass up in there.
It was disturbing.
It's disturbing how much ass we got on Lucha Underground. And not even the Latina ass. I'm talking the black man ass. Mac was twerking, baby. Mac was twerking.
It was scary.
Meanwhile, back on Impact, Jim Cornette introduces Johnny Impact.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Dude, what do you think of them calling him Johnny Impact?
I should have just gone with Johnny Mundo.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Even though he works for AAA, that's a Lucha Underground MGM copywritten thing.
He should have like done the smart thing, got himself a character that he can like port to different places and not be like tied down by this character copyright BS.
Yeah, I think it's comical.
Yeah,
we've seen him in so many different places by so
it's
many.
him in those iconic cross shades, man. It's like you see the cross shades and you see the goatee and you know who it is.
Oh yeah,
not Ricky Mandel.
Right. He shows up. What? Didn't you? Oh.
Not you, Ricky. Go backstage. Get Johnny.
Nice try, Ricky. So yeah, then we get the rest of the Dragon Tribe out attacking the Mac. And we haven't seen Pindar and Vibra in a while, so that was good to see them.
They may return next week.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, well, I think they'll certainly be around for the fight for the Gift of the Gods Championship.
Definitely.
I could definitely see some shenanigans going on there, which would certainly give Drago a leg up, or a tail up, or some sort of snake appendage up. I don't know. Let's see. Here we go. Let's talk about the last match, and then we're going to talk about the 5-0 street fight. And not a whole lot to talk about with Matanza versus the Rabbit Tribe. There were some funny moments. Obviously, this is, like I said, a warm-up match for Matanza.
It's a glorified squash match is what it is, J-Bone. Glorified squash match.
It is. It is. It truly is. What the heck did they try to offer Matanza? They were trying to get him to like dance and like join. Oh, they were trying to get him to join the tribe. Weren't they? Something? Uh-oh, did I lose you? Hey, Phoenix. Do we have Chris back? Chris, are you there? Bear with us, folks. Technical difficulties.
J-Bone.
There he is.
And I'm back, baby.
All right. So what did you think about this 5-0 street fight, dude? How fun was this?
Yeah. That was brutal. Oh my god, yeah.
Knights.
This was one of the greatest matches I ever seen. Cortez Castro, Ricky Reyes, Ricky Diaz, whatever his name is, in. Start a freaking Lucha.
Yeah, because he's been a lot of different things in Lucha Underground with a lot of different factions, so to speak. But now this is like his true self is coming out, you know?
Yeah.
Like he always was the undercover guy, and it's all coming to the light. And what was also funny about this was how much adversity Joey Ryan had against everyone else, all the other cops there present with the riot shields and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy.
And they remained neutral for the entire match, which I thought, well, there's going to be some kind of collusion from one of the guys. Nope.
But they did, with the exception of they didn't let Joey leave.
Yes.
They kept him there.
And they would have done the same with Reyes too.
Yeah, and well, you know, he didn't try to take off or anything, you know.
Yeah. Joey's a freaking greasy snake. He always tries to get out of something, but forget about it. No, he's still there.
Yeah, from like I was saying while I was trying to get you back, we had everything from nightsticks, riot shields, the handcuffs that busted open Cortez Castro. Even
boxes of freaking donuts, and a pot of hot coffee.
A pot of hot coffee to Joey Ryan's
coffee
donuts.
And donuts. The brick. There you go. Coffee and donuts. Breakfast of champions when it comes to law enforcement.
And then Joey gets his nuts tased.
Oh, that was the funnest part.
It was not just watching that, but having Matt Stryker freak out at, like, you know, smelling nut hair. and gagging. He's like, "Oh, the burnt hair!" He's like freaking out.
Wouldn't you have said that if the same thing would have happened to Joey Ryan if he was tased in the chest, the burnt hair, the chest hair?
Yeah.
And if he did that on his chest, it would have caught on fire because it's so oily.
Oh, dude, he would have went up like a match.
But if you think about it, he put that oil down his pants too. So it kind of, yeah, I wonder what caught on fire there. You know, you would have thought, okay, you tase his nuts are on fire. You use the coffee to douse the flames, but it's still hot, so it hurts more. You could have done it either way.
It's a weird science experiment gone wrong.
Yeah. Why'd he do it like that? Because he'll hurt more.
Because with a spoon.
Yep.
So yeah, hot coffee, tased, hits him with the box of bear claws, and then finishes off the match with the pepper spray, along with the Michinoku driver on top of all the riot shields, which finally finishes off the dirty cop, Joey Ryan.
The question is, what will be the consequences back at this precinct, and who is getting fired?
That's a great question.
Because I mean, at this point, Castro's got his bid. He's got his ancient Aztec medallion. Joey Ryan, however, well, you know what? He hasn't succeeded in getting Dario's favor, if you will, for taking out Castro. And at the same time, Castro Reyes hasn't gotten any favor with the captain because his cover was blown and he hasn't gotten anything new on Dario Cueto.
Or when she asked him a few episodes ago to help in getting the gauntlet from Cage.
Yeah. He's like, suicide mission? Hell no.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to jump in on that one. No.
No. Last guy who tried to do that died. I want to die. No.
Delgado lost his head in the whole thing. It was bad.
He thought he knew his shit. Man has no head now. He's dead now. What?
What would Watkins say about that Delgado incident?
Talking to my guy all wrong. It's the wrong tone. Do it again. Stab you in the face with a soldering iron. Hey, does your mother sew? Pa! Get her sew that. I love Joe Dirt.
That's beautiful. So yeah, another fun, fantastic episode of Lucha Underground. Total of 99 for this season, episode 34. Next week we get episode 100. I can't wait, dude. And what we were talking about off the air right before we went live, sounds like we're gonna have a little surprise for the folks out there.
We have a little surprise. You gotta have to tune in next week to find out, everybody.
Yeah. So join us here live. Thank you again, Mr. Chris Phoenix, for joining me for a little trip to Slam Town, spreading some lucha love around.
I'll bring it. I'll do it again.
All right. And we'll see you here around the same time next week, next Thursday night. Join us then. Thanks for watching.